Hello there everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Halloween might be already over, but I felt spooky today. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 most scariest Doctor Who monsters in my opinion, or the monsters that can haunt you in your dreams. Ooh, spooky, I know, right? So these are just my personal opinions, right? These are just the creatures that I find really disturbing and really scary for some reason. Obviously, there are a lot of Doctor Who episodes. A lot of them also really focus on the horror aspects of the pop culture. But obviously, there are many monsters in Doctor Who, and I think personally, as these monsters that I'm going to talk about look very frightening, very scary, and today I'm going to talk about them. So, alright, the first one is going to be the Zygons. The Zygons are the shape shifting aliens seen in the Zygoon inversion and the Zygoon invasion episodes from the Peter Capaldi era. So, these guys can actually transform into humans and act like humans. But in the story, it was about the Zygons living on Earth without the humans knowing it, and there was this, I would say, secret invasion, I guess, about the Zygons actually living on Earth, and the companion of the Doctor, which turns into a Zygon or is actually a Zygon, needs to save all the other Zygons. It's kind of interesting. A lot of back and forth between the characters being Zygons and not Zygons. Very interesting story. But these guys look horrifying, man. Holy shit. Look very creepy. But don't worry, the Zygons also appeared in the 4th Doctor story where they got introduced, obviously. But if you want to see the 12th Doctor episodes, I recommend those because they're very good. And in the 4th Doctor story, the Zygons are, they're there, but I haven't seen the episode, so I can't really give you an opinion on it. But alright, let's talk about the next creature, the Silence. These creatures look like Slenderman, I guess, with these black suits, kind of like the Man in Black, but they're white, they have big round faces and I guess a weird mouth. Yeah, I guess they just look like Slenderman, man. So there we go. But they actually have the power when you don't look at them, you forget them, and if you look back at them, you see them, right? So if you turn away from one of them, you forget that you ever saw one. So there we go. That's very interesting and very cool to have like a horror character do that power. But yeah, very interesting. Obviously, these characters were first introduced in the Matt Smith era of Doctor Who, and I think we haven't seen them return, but I would love to see them one day again. Alright, the next are the Cybermen. The Cybermen are very interesting as like a concept. They're actually just people, but all their emotions have turned off, and they're actually in this I guess armor. I guess yeah, they kind of look like Iron Man, obviously, but they're stuck in there and they don't have any emotions. They just follow their rules and their assignments. Especially, I would say the Mendasian Cybermen are the ones who look most horrifying. They just, they look very, I guess, broke. Yeah, their armor looks very self-made, but the way that they talk, the way that they crawl and walk, and they were first introduced in the 1960s, I think, in the last first Doctor story, but the first one for the second Doctor, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, these guys, in the 60s they looked horrifying, man, but now they kind of look cheap. But obviously the newer Cybermans also look very cool. But the story itself is just about like people getting into these pods to turn into Cyberman, and all their emotions are stripped away, and it's very horrifying actually. So there you go. These are very cool ones. Obviously the Mendasian Cyberman appeared in the season 10. Obviously Bill Potts turned into one, which is one of the Doctor's companions. And yeah, the Doctor was heartbroken about it. But yeah, there we go. Alright, the next character is the Veil from Heaven Sent. The Veil, Heaven Sent is one of my favorite episodes, probably my favorite one. And the Veil is just this creature with the long fingers. You just don't see his face or its face, and it just stalks the Doctor throughout this castle, and the Doctor needs to escape it. But he turns up wherever you weren't expecting it. The Doctor digs a hole, and the guy just pops up. And scares the Doctor and scares the viewer too. And the Veil is just interesting. It's just a slow creature that follows the Doctor in this castle step by step until it kills the Doctor. So there we go. Alright, and the last one is the weeping angels. These creatures or these statues actually follow you. Do you know the game of werewolf or whatever? I'm not quite sure. No, I think, in Dutch it's like werewolf, what time is it or something? I'm not quite sure if it's in English the same name. But these weeping angels, they move when you don't look at them, obviously. That's their entire shtick. But yeah, these creatures can follow you, they can also stalk you, and they have the power to turn off lights, to eventually kill you and send you back into the past, and they take all of your time, energy. It's kind of weird, but the Doctor turned into one of them, and the Flux, the series where the Doctor turned into one of them, it's very, I would say, controversial. The choices that the showrunner made were very kind of random, but this scene looked very, very cool when the Doctor turned into Weeping Angel. Obviously, these creatures just haunt you and hunt you and try to kill you, and it's just horrifying to see them. Every time I see a statue at a cemetery, I think of them because they're everywhere, man. A image of an angel becomes an angel. So there you go. But yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will check you later. Or should I say, allons-y, or don't blink, don't ever blink. Blink and you're dead. Alright, bye bye everyone.